the
Yes,
timer
exactly.
at the clap. Okay.
You don't have to wear the headphones. I feel like you shouldn't. Or do you like them?
I think I look cool with them. I don't. Oh, it's so weird without
Isn't that
them
weird?
now.
Okay,
that's
I
fine.
mean, keep them on.
No, that's fine.
I just have like bad
Hair.
no, I mean, no, I don't have bad hair. I have bad headphone hair, but thank you for being a jerk, you little rat. Okay.
Wait a second. What do you mean you have bad? What?
You said to me that I have bad hair. I was saying that I have bad headphone hair.
Oh, okay.
But you said you have bad hair.
Okay, but
So I just assumed that you were being a jerk because that's usually what you do to me, you little rat.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Another episode here. It's happening.
It's what you've all been waiting for.
You guys,
Sure.
I know everyone has been waiting for this. I know it's been one episode, but my mother is in town for Mom's Weekend, and we're going to have ourselves a fun time. And I just thought, you know what? I might as well go on the role of having someone else on this weekend, and I guess my...
With some weirdo.
Yeah, I have another weirdo who's my mother. And the reason she's weird is because I'm her kid, and there's, like, no way that, like, anyone who birthed me was, like, one, mentally stable, and two, is normal. And could you agree?
Absolutely.
Am I just... Okay, give me your honest thoughts of me.
Okay. Like, I feel like you, like, everybody likes you, and you're really personable and outgoing, but you also don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks about you, which as a mother, that's like, it's like what you want, but also like you don't, do you want me to be really honest?
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually want
Like-
you to be...
Like, I wish you would dress up more a little bit. I wish you would do your hair a little more and put on some makeup. And like those are the things like my mom wanted me to do too. She would always like pinch her cheeks to get color in them and everything. But like I wish I could say to you like, "Hey Sam, do you want to like do something with your hair?" and you not get mad at me for it.
Okay, so
But,
I am...
but that is just appearance-wise. That's just like a mother thing. You know, you want your kid to look like presentable, and you don't usually look presentable. Like this is like your normal thing.
Yeah, my hoodie, leggings.
Hoodie, at least you're doing the ratio that I taught you.
Yes.
Because like you would come home and you'd be in this like huge flannel, huge t-shirt, huge pants, and it was like I said, Sam, you have to have one tight thing on. It can be the top, it can be the bottom, but you cannot have everything big.
Okay. So I'm fat, ugly, disgusting.
That's not what I said. I said presentable. Like, you know.
Look, not...
Like care a little bit what
I
people
do.
think.
Okay, but at the same time, I don't.
No, you don't care.
I don't.
You don't
But you
care
want to know?
about it.
But I do dress up when I do like sports. When I'm announcing sports, like I dress
Yeah,
up.
that's,
but I'm not.
Or else people would think you're just like a homeless weirdo off the street. Like, okay. Yeah. I was going to say something about your dad. Like, he also doesn't care what people think about him. And you two are the exact same person. It's almost like you even dress the same. Like, he's always in a flannel shirt and his big jeans. And he doesn't care at all what people think.
Yeah, I think I took a lot.
I wish I had that. I wish I did. I really admire you for it. But
Thank you.
But saying that, like, I just wish you had a little bit.
So, obviously, my dad is a very unique person. I mean, if he had like a podcast or he just talked to anyone, they would say, you need to turn your life into a movie. And you're married to him.
No, it's not even that. It's not just the fact that he is a sitcom in his own right. The friends he surrounds himself with, they could also be their own sitcom. Like, literally, it's a gang of, like, insane
Weirdos.
asylums. Yeah.
Weirdos.
I mean, weirdos, they're just unique. Such unique people. And I think he likes surrounding himself with unique people.
But you want to know what's funny? I'm the same way. I will make friends with the absolute... just people that you wouldn't even like look at. I'm always like, where's the most weirdest, unique person here? That's who I need to meet.
Yeah, I get that. I'm like that too. I like real people. So like, it's really hard for me to like, I will go to the person that's not talking into a room and I have to talk to them.
me agreeing with you when I literally like came out of you. I'm like, oh my God, we're so similar, girl. Oh my God.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? Oh my God, you're so pretty.
I mean, we are similar, but when you did come out of me, you had jet black hair, and your eyes were like the size of it. They were like, I was like, whose baby is this? And they held you up in front of me, and I'm like, that can't be mine. It just can't be.
And my dad, he has super dark hair, super curly, heavy beard, dark eyes. So he's probably like, great, nice.
Yeah,
and he has, and
she is mine.
and my dad has an accent because he's from Spain. So he did the full.
We don't talk about him or things he says without doing his accent. Like, that is for sure.
And everyone knows him because of the accent. So if I start talking like that, it's
Yeah.
because I'm mimicking him. But he's really funny, and I'm not taking away from you because it is Mom's Weekend.
It's okay,
But okay, just tell, because you said what?
Yeah.
What do you?
Well, I was just gonna, like you said, Mom's Weekend. Okay. Well, your sister, she goes to a different school in Illinois, and she was busy all weekend for Mom's Weekend. So she's like, Mom, I really want you to come down, but I have tests on Saturday and these clubs on Sunday. Do you think you could all come down and we'd have lunch together and, whatever. And so I tell your dad and Megan and Jose, and I'm like, let's all go and we'll see Maddie on Sunday. So we are like 20 minutes away, and I make a mention of, Maddie, she went out to breakfast this morning with her friend and her friend's mom because it's Mom's Weekend. He literally was like, what do you mean it is? I am not going down there when it's Mom's Weekend. This is ridiculous. I am not going. You never told me it was. We're like, what are you freaking out about? Like, it's just because it's Mom's Weekend doesn't mean that men are banished from the campus. And literally, he was so mad at me. Like, we were all in the car just looking at each other like he wouldn't let it go. He would anybody, and we're like, oh my God, there's a dad, Jose, So that is a story about how he's black and white. It's like right, wrong, black and white.
He's so himself.
He's so himself, just like you, Sam.
I know, and it's bad, but maybe I always try to tell the story of not how you guys met, because maybe that's not as exciting, but like, I feel like you guys are so different, but also so similar. So then when we get into these instances, like as a family, and like things happen, it's almost like, what the freak?
It's like a constant war.
It is a constant war.
And I know that that's probably like done some damage to you, especially because you're not the oldest, but Megan wasn't always living at our house, so you had to deal with that and try to like, we fought all the time, and we still do. And it's not like we don't love each other. It was just coming at each other with totally 100,000% different backgrounds.
Yeah.
He even, when we started dating, he gave me a book that said something like How to Get Over the Culture Shock, or dating.
He gave you a book.
Being in a relationship with a Spaniard or something like that. He's like, because we are very different. And I'm like, I was so infatuated with him. I was like, oh, what's he talking about? God, could I write a book? Like, if there's anybody out there watching this that is married to a foreigner, whatever. I don't even know if that's PC to say, but like, if you need help, just get in touch with the YouTube person here, because I'll help you through it. It's a rough road.
And it's not only that he's foreign and like you guys both have culture shocks. Mm-hmm. My dad is he sees life as like this fun game to him. And it's funny that you're married to him because you almost get the repercussions of the things that he does. Like, for example, could you please tell the story of your high school reunion, and just set the scene.
Okay, set the scene. I can't even, it was like our 10-year reunion and high school reunion, and it's in Ohio. And so all my friends, they had met Jose. They were like, he's just crazy, awesome. We love him, and I'm just always like this, when I'm around him. But we all get dressed up. We go into the reunion, and my friend Marianne. She was
Love Marianne.
Yeah, she's awesome. It was the class president. Okay, so she got to make a little speech, and we had put together the reunion or whatnot. And I did not know they were going to do this, but Jose was like, let me talk. And Marianne's like, so we also have somebody here that wanted to say hi to everybody. It's Jose Garcia. He was the, foreign exchange student at high school. And I'm like, what the goddamn F is happening? Like, I am going to go kill myself right now. And he gets up there and he's like, hey, everybody, it's good to see you all. And I'm looking around at people's faces and they're like, yeah, I think I remember him. Like, wasn't he in, gym with you guys or whatever? And he carried that on the whole night. And everybody was coming up to him and be like, hey, Jose, it's great to see you. Of course, my friends were in on the joke, but...
And he's so funny.
I mean,
well,
that's not as...
No, that is hilarious. No,
but
that is hilarious. He's literally from Spain, and he tried to pretend to be part of
all his
the
idea,
middle...
And my friends are like, yeah, let's do it. And everybody is just like clapping for him. It also, I mean, just like every time we go back to Ohio, I could go into a bar I've been to 1,000 times, and he has been there maybe once, like 5 years ago, and they'll be like, Jose! Because, of course, he did karaoke to La Bamba or something,
He's not real.
No, he's not.
And I guess then when you come here to Athens, I mean, you're here for Mom's Weekend, so you get a little bit of break from him. But you went here, right?
Yeah, I went here.
What was your time like?
Oh, my God. Athens, Ohio University, it just stays in your blood. I don't know what it is about this school. The campus is amazing, but it's funny because one of my roommates is here today for Mom's Weekend. I think all of your roommates' moms, or some of your roommates' moms went to Ohio University as well. It was amazing. We were crazy. We drank all the time. It was like... 50 pounds, the freshman 15 turned into the freshman 40, from all the beer. And then you get rid of it your second year, but whatever. But it was a lot of fun. I feel like we did things, that maybe they don't do nowadays. Like we're the people that got everybody together and did cookouts in the dorms, out in the yard. And we rented, but bought slip and slides and stuff. But I guess they do that now too.
I guess just more recently, the Kurt's house, shout out Kurt Street, Julia, Lexi, Beth, Carol, their house. Yeah. I had to shout them out. Beth. But Beth. But we had a big cookout type thing, but we didn't even really eat. We just sat and drank, and all the boys came over and we were playing sports. But that was so fun. That's what I think here makes it. And I guess you could find that anywhere, but I guess the people here are just
the people. I mean, Athens in itself, the city is just, it's so colorful. The people that are here, they were hippies, the older people that live here now were hippies back in the 60s and 70s. And that kind of permeates throughout the university. And you just feel I don't know, it's like you're going back in time a little when you come here. Also, you're so isolated with the Hocking River and all of that surrounding you. And there's nobody within, an hour's drive. So that, this kind of makes it its own little world.
It is its own world. Me and all my friends were always like, this place is fake. We're going to wake up one day and someone's going to be like, what are you talking about? That wasn't a real place. And I'm just going to have to accept it for what it was. But yeah, I guess it's more the people here that I meet. But also I think it goes back to where I'm from and growing up in Chicago and stuff. Yeah. Just not only having diversity, but especially having you be connected here, and then my dad be from Spain. We just clash, and we do and meet all these different people. So when I came here, it's almost well, that guy, as much as you Bobby Joe think that he's crazy, that guy was my neighbor. You know what I mean? For example, one of my dad's friends, I'm not going to name drop him, but he works at this local liquor store, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Another one of the sitcom characters.
He could have in his own. he could have a sitcom.
Yeah.
But he is this old man that is from, okay, not an old man. Okay. He's like 50-ish.
Okay.
50-ish. And he has been working at this liquor store as just a general sales guy for like 20 plus years. And he told us like they've offered him
roles.
higher roles. They've given him the manager. And he's like, I don't want to do more. And the reason that I say where he works is because every time he goes to work, he drinks because he works at a liquor store.
Yeah.
So also
gosh.
to add to it, he is another foreigner like my father. So no wonder they get along. And he has a super heavy accent from where he's from. And, you just see him walking around our town, pish drunk, with the newspaper on his head. And he wears those paper boy hats, you know, and sometimes it's sideways. And I just remember, like, he's just one of the many. But I just remember one time, like, walking home from school, and he is passed out on a park bench with a newspaper over his head.
He had just been to our house. And I was probably there cleaning up the beer that he spilled all over the place. Nicest guy in the world, and it sounds like you're painting him like an alcoholic. He's really not. He's actually a lightweight who, when he drinks, just...
Yes, no, okay. But I remember one time, too, it was like 7 a.m, and someone is pounding on our front door. And I'm like, who is this? So I go and answer it, and it's him. And he has his hat on completely sideways. His glasses are like this, and he is holding a giant chocolate cake in one hand. And he speaks very limited English. Like, he's been here for so long.
It's very funny language.
His accent is so funny. It's like, my dad's is like this, but his is like, he has a lisp like this. Exactly. He talks like that. And so I open the door and I'm like, hi, what are you doing? And he's just in Spanish. He's like, pastel, which means cake. So he was like, cake? Look, his shirt was completely bent sideways.
Stop.
And
In all
okay.
fairness, there was probably a soccer game that
No. That's
watch.
what I was gonna explain. So my dad always watches like the soccer games on TV, but there's a huge time change. So like, if you like 4:30 in the morning, I wake up accidentally. I'm like, man, I need water. And I go downstairs and my dad is sitting there staring at the TV, watching like motorcycle races.
Either Formula One or it's soccer.
Formula One or soccer. And I'm like, Papa, what time? It's 4:30. What are you doing up? He's like, the game is on.
You know what makes me mad right now is he's gonna sit here and watch this goddamn podcast and he's gonna be like, yes, this is exactly what I planned.
No, he's gonna be like, you're making fun of me.
Oh no, I'm gonna be in trouble because we're making fun.
Oh,
of
100%. But you get the repercussions of it.
I will get it. Yeah.
I don't. But he might be mad at you, but I think me and my dad have had a fair amount of things that we've done that we've just never, the dirt bikes, that was an awesome one. My mom went on a work trip to Denmark and my dad was in charge of us for 1 week. She leaves to go to Denmark. I was probably 13 maybe?
Yeah.
13, and then my sister was 11 and my brother was 9. My dad loads us up in the car, drives us and gets us all dirt bikes. Hid them from my mother.
Yep.
For months. We would go and drive them and she would have no idea.
Yeah.
And then one day you found them and that was terrible. And we could honestly just have a...
Literally, this happened like 3 months ago. He walks in the door and he's like, hey, come here. I want to show you something. And I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, no, just come here. I said, did you buy something? Did you buy a motorcycle? Because he has 4. And he's like, no. And I look outside. He just randomly went and bought a Mini Cooper off of Craigslist for like $2,000. And he's like, isn't it beautiful? And I look at it and all the paint is just like peeling off the side. It's got key marks down the side. Oh, that's not it. How could I forget this?
I know what you're gonna say, and it's 2 letters on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. RV. Yep.
Holy Jesus.
Okay, let's get into it. So
no, we can't make this a huge thing.
No, okay, but it has.
Oh my God. My husband had the most gorgeous Range Rover. It was used when we got it. It was a 2009. It kind of looked like maybe a gang member had pimped it out because it had like totally blacked out windows.
Oh, yeah.
It was souped up. It was
all
awesome.
black. It was so cool.
And we loved that car. Like,
it was so fun.
But he got it in his head that he wanted to go camping. And of course he had just traded our pull trailer camper for a motorcycle. So, okay, fine. So he didn't have his trailer anymore that we could go camping with. So he straight up trades on Craigslist a 34-foot 1992
Ew.
freaking kangaroo RV. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
No,
Literally, we still to this day fight about it. And it's like every day. And he'll be like, oh, it's so awesome. I'm going to the RV and let's go camping. And if we go in the wintertime, there's no heat. If we go in the summertime, you can't run the air conditioning. I hate him so much.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm the only one that actually likes the RV.
Yeah, because
and
you're a weirdo.
because I'm a weirdo, and that is fine.
Yeah.
And me and my dad have had so many cool trips, and I know that it makes you feel good because he's out of the house and I'm out of the house.
Love
but
it.
I do need to tell one story about the RV and Papa that you don't know.
Oh, God. Oh, God. What?
And this is my mom's live reaction. You do not know this.
Okay, what?
So one time my dad is like, we are all going camping. And my mom was like, F you, no, I'm not going. Somehow my dad convinces my mom and we all go. And it was when we were in Iowa or somewhere. And when we were right next to like that row of rocks, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so
With the homeless
just,
people?
no. Not the homeless people.
Okay.
That's a different story.
Okay.
And so an RV is small, right? And like I am just always in the way. And I know I do this thing when I see my mom getting upset, I'll keep going at it until you get really worked up, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
So my mom was trying to set the things up in the RV. You know, we drove all the way to Iowa or some random state to go camping and nothing works. So my mom already doesn't want to be there. My mom looks at me and my dad and she's like, just get out of here. Take the dog. You're annoying me. Like, get out of here. You're annoying me. Go get firewood. Because we were camping and you
Okay.
wanted us to get out so you could clean and like get whatever. So it's me and my dad and my dog. And I just have like a black lab who's like,
If this has anything to do with my dog, you're screwed. Okay, just keep going.
Okay,
I'm
so
getting worried.
Me and my dad are walking with Polly, right? And we're like, I don't know, maybe a half mile away from where the thing was. Because remember, you had to like drive. That's when we rode the bikes at that place.
Yeah.
So we're walking around, and all of a sudden, these like two little kids come like sprinting towards us, like two little kids. And we're like, oh, hi. And they're like staring at Polly. And we're like, I was like, oh, his name's Polly. Like he's a little dog, right? And they just like look at each other and run away. And me and my dad were like, okay, whatever. Like, who cares? So then all of a sudden we are like, keep walking. And those two kids come back. But following them is about 50 kids the same height.
Yeah.
The same height. They all look kind of the same, right? And they're standing there. They come and they surround us. It wasn't 15 kids. It was like 50 to 60 kids up to my hip and
Okay.
up to Papa's hips. I have to tell the story. That's why. I know you want me to get to the point, but like,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
So the two kids come up again, and I had just assumed that they were like all wanting to see like the dog, and you know the two kids are petting Polly, and the one like looks at each other, and I was like, oh, his name's Polly again. Like I say it because they're not talking. All of a sudden they look at each other, and then they start whispering, and they all start whispering, and like you know when whispering is loud because
Yeah.
so many people are doing it. It was so loud, and all of a sudden they look at each other and they go like this, Polly. Polly, Polly, Polly. And they start cheering Polly's name. The one girl takes the leash off of my hand and runs away with Polly. And me and Papa are like,
Oh, shite.
what? We couldn't even react. Why? They're chanting Polly's name and they run away with him. They literally run away. And they're like out of sight, not like super far, but they had made a right. And me and Papa look at each other and we're like, I guess we have to go.
Why didn't you run after them? Like, what's wrong with you two?
If 60 little kids sprinted up you and started chanting like the dog's name, you wouldn't
Well,
like
it
I
sounds
wouldn't.
like they're gonna like sacrifice them. Like, what the hell?
I don't know.
I'm sad.
No, No. It ends up good.
Well, obviously, I have him.
Yeah, no doubt. So me and Papa are like, okay, we should probably go look. And we keep walking.
Damn, this
Just
isn't
wait.
Funny.
I know it's not funny. I'm telling
Okay,
you.
go on.
Stop getting mad that I'm storytelling. I know you want the end and you're going to hear it, but if you keep cutting me off, it's going to take longer.
Okay, keep going.
So we make a right, and all of a sudden I see this like white tent. And there's a bunch of people sitting outside of it. And me and Papa walk up and we're like, hi. And we're talking, and then all of a sudden someone comes out of that tent, a full feather head.
They were going to sacrifice Polly. They were going to eat him. What is
Just feathered Indian.
Okay.
Liz, what do you have to say?
I was just going to say, I did hear the story when the kids all swarmed you. And that's all I
thought
knew.
you didn't know that.
No, I heard that
Okay,
part. I
okay.
have no idea what you're saying right now.
Okay. I thought I didn't tell you the full thing. Well, okay.
You didn't.
Okay. So the guy comes up and he's talking to us, and you could see that the elders didn't really like us. I'm
Yeah.
wearing like a tank top with no bra and sweatpants. So,
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
whore, right? They're like, what is this? You know what I mean? He comes to tell us that they are from like an Indian reserve, and they were there on a retreat to like meet other people. They thought that Polly was a god. And so they
Yeah.
brought him to the grandmother inside of like the white tent to be like,
Well, this doesn't shock me. Polly is a god.
okay, yes, but okay, yes.
Okay.
But so he's like, I'll be right back, right? He talks like that, and he goes and he gets Polly, and Polly's just so excited because
Yeah.
all these kids are scratching him, and they start
Polly's
running
sad, yeah.
around. And after 10 minutes, me and my dad were like, we should go. So we take him. At the same time, they're like, bye, Polly, like so loud, and we walk back. It had been like 40 minutes, 50
Yeah.
minutes, I don't really know, but like a long time, and it's dark now. We come back to the trailer. We open the door. Where the fuck have you guys been? Oh, and you don't have firewood. You guys are good for nothing. Where were you? I promise you. I promise you in that moment, me and Papa looked at each other and we just knew. We were like, we can't explain what just happened to
Yeah, but,
her.
like, who does that really happen to? Why you two? Like,
What do you mean you two? Me? Like we are...
whatever.
like...
Okay, let's get back to me.
Yeah,
Mom's weekend.
seriously. But yeah, I know that I am your daughter, and things that I know I'm like you. We both have the same mental capacity. We both have mental illness. Hey. One small thing that I noticed, I always cut my hands, and I didn't notice until this year. I have so many cuts all over my hands, and that's what you do. And I know that's like something that like, oh, everyone gets cuts, but specifically my hands always have like little things in it. That's how I know I'm like you.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just look down and I'm bleeding. And I'm like, well, that happened.
Sure.
Clap. What I mean by that is that I can never be in the moment. And it's because of being a mom and just trying to keep my head above water all these years and try to be the best at everything. And it's like, I just have to, in my brain, I'm always thinking, okay, what do I have to do next? So it's like never, I'm always, oh, I've got to lose weight because this is coming up and I want to look good. And then it gets there and I'm thinking about, I'm not enjoying where I am. It's a terrible trait to have. Like, I wish I could be more like your dad,
No, but I feel like that's not right. Like not right, but that's not true. I feel like you live in the moment. Like you are so funny. Like I have had like the most times where I have not been able to breathe is like stuff that you do. And I just think you don't have to be like, everyone has like insecurities. Like everyone has things, but I think there's a difference when you're like, okay, like I know that these things like maybe I don't like or like things I want to change, but I read this thing and it was like, you can only achieve what you think of yourself. Right? So if like, I'll use me as an instance. If I'm like, dang, like I'm lame. Like if I was like, okay, I can only do 5 push-ups. Then I can only do 5 push-ups.
Yeah.
If I was like, I'm going to do 10 push-ups, it's like a mind thing. You know what I mean? And I think like
I always try to control that.
yeah,
thought.
but I think you're like not too in your head, but I think that you think you're an overthinker.
Right. And
But in the best way, like I'm not, you know that I'm not being a jerk to you because you're my angel.
Right. My sisters can attest to this, that what I think I tend to do, and I'm sure they do it as well, is we are like, people think of us all through my childhood, through my teens. My college friends think this of me. They're like, you're a hypochondriac. Okay, I am. Because I tend to think of the absolute worst thing that could happen, because I'm afraid if I don't prepare my brain for the worst thing that could happen, like I'm going to go ape, like something's going to snap in my brain. So I'm like, okay, I couldn't get a hold of Samantha for 12 hours, which means she's dead. I've already come to terms with her death now. And now if I get a hold of her, it's all just gravy from that point on.
You're halfway writing my obituary. You're like, the most beautiful angel. Like, and then I could call you.
Like, honest to God, I sit there and in my brain, I'm playing out the cops coming to my door. Like literally coming to my door. It's really terrible. I think about, I picture myself driving off the road. I picture myself getting completely like my head cut off by a semi-trailer in front of me because I didn't stop soon enough. Like I picture these things happening to think that that's the worst thing that could happen to me.
You want to know why I think that? And I am psychoanalyzing you, even though I have no background in any sort of thing like that. I think that you want to be the strong person for someone else, so you try to like make yourself feel prepared for these things, so that you could comfort other people.
Oh my God, Samantha, you
know what I mean?
End scene.
End scene. But then again, it's like, at what point? And I'm not saying that you're not selfish, but how then do you? Like, you gotta feel, that's so tiring, like, every instant. I mean, you wanna know what, though? Before you go, I kind of do the same thing. Maybe not for everything, but, like, I'll be driving, and, like, a car will be close to me. I'm like, dude, that car could literally swerve and, like, kill me.
I think my thing is definitely, I want to be strong for other people and be able to like save everybody.
Yeah.
Like if something happens terrible in our family,
you would want to be the person.
I'll be like, okay, my brain's prepared and nobody else is prepared, so I'm ready to like, I'm gonna take them all in. But I also do it as it's a survivalist thing. Like I do not want to die, you know.
Same.
I know it's an unpopular theory right now, but I do not want to die ever. And so I have always, like, I think ahead so that I don't die. And then I have totally fucked your brain. I fucked Madison. I fucked Jose's brain. They all are like, Mom, like, we worry all the time about dying. And I'm like, well, that's good because you'll stay alive then. But literally, like, I do have to come to terms with bad things can happen. And I will survive.
Duh.
I just, you know.
And maybe that's why you feel like you don't live in the moment. Maybe that's going back to it. Maybe that's why you don't feel like you live in the moment, because you're constantly.
I need my own podcast now.
It's kind of nice, right?
I mean, online therapy?
Fuck you.
Fuck you. No,
Hey.
I love my online therapist now. She's awful.
Yeah, you love your online therapist. My mom got me an online therapist when I went home for spring break. And this lady was, I did give her the benefit of the doubt. I really did try it. Mm-hmm. She was just a motivational speaker.
Yeah,
she was like, what are the things you want to achieve in life? And I was like, I don't know if I want to.
I don't know if I can like put my pants on.
I was like, I don't know if I want to live you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not actually. I was just
No.
being funny. But you know, she was like, you got to achieve these things. And I was like, I don't need Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, I don't need motivation. Like, just listen, like things like that. But I think therapy is good, but I don't do it, which is, I don't want to say bad, but I think a lot of times, like, I feel like I don't have to like do that stuff because I want to figure things out on my own. Mm-hmm. And that's not me being selfish, but I do like to be in control of like not only my feelings, but like my actions too. And I've been super successful so far. And I know like obviously I need support. Like I'm not saying I'm this like fucking macho.
You know, and one of my other things that I like tend to do is sometimes I'll lean on alcohol a little bit too much, because what it does is it allows my brain to let go without me letting it go. You know what I mean? It does it for me. So I always have to keep that in check. Like, I drink, okay, like I have fun and everything, but like there'll be times when I'm like, it's getting a little hairy. Let me stop for a few weeks just to make sure I can. So, you know, I think that's why a lot of people drink, is just to kind of like let their brain be away from those worries for a while. And I totally can see that. Like,
Yeah, and I guess it's hard for me to see it and like people around me, because it's like this whole like, oh, we're in college, like it's normal to go drinking. But at the same time, like this isn't directed towards like anyone like of my friends, because I know like Beth.
Sorry, Bethany. Okay, keep going. No. Don't. I'm so sad that we just said that.
No,
Okay,
but you know that she's gonna love it. But you know, you see like people that they like will be like, let's go out. And it's like, it's fun to do that sometimes. But I think when it's like a pattern, or when you're almost like, ugh, I have to go out tonight. Like, you do not have to go out and drink. But at the same time, it's also like college and like fun. But then it leads to like this path.
In Ohio University, when I went to school, it was known as the party school in the U.S. I mean, like, I think we were ranked number one.
I think it's still
our Halloween, and I don't know how it is now and everything, but like, it was dangerous. But everybody from every school all around came here, and it was something. I mean, we literally rioted in the streets when the time would change and the bars would close in like an hour early.
Yeah.
It was a riot. I mean, my college friends are probably like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to control your drinking in college, because that really does lead to what you're going to do in adulthood. I completely agree with that. That being said, I drank in high school. Like, there was not much to do in our town except drink, and you know, so I started early, and I would highly not recommend that to anybody either. And that's why I was always with you girls and with little Jose we call him. I was so like, if you're gonna drink, I don't want you to drive. You're gonna come to me. I, you know, and I feel like you guys kind of did skirt that. Like, I feel like you're definitely 1,000 steps ahead of
oh my
what
God,
I was.
yeah.
Like,
or maybe not above
I'm always
you.
just like, I get so scared that you guys are going to like go down that path, and you never did. I mean, I know now you drink because you're 21 and everything, but it seems like you guys have gotten around that.
Oh my God,
like
yeah.
that.
No, I think
it also helps that you grew up in the city. I
Yeah.
mean, like literally there was, you know, it was so diverse, and there were places to go and hang out and do and whatnot. And
it wasn't like bored in like cornfields, you know, like you know what I mean, like
cornfields.
Yeah.
I mean, we were.
Like me and my friends were always just like doing stupid stuff. Like, remember when the neighbors, they were doing construction on their house? Like, me and some of my friends, we would just stick bottle rockets in the porta potties and run around in the alleys and ride our bikes everywhere. Like, I definitely think like growing up in the city like was definitely like helps me. I mean, I don't know, maybe if I went to a different college, like if I went to a big college town, that would be different. But just in terms of like who I am, like I sit there sometimes and I'm like, I am so happy that I have this mindset where I have a good head on my shoulders. It's like genuinely like what I feel. And then sometimes I get nervous. I'm like, how could I teach this to like my kids? Like, how can I like actually like train someone to feel like that, you know?
You know, when I came to OU, there were not a lot, but I had quite a few friends that were from Chicago. I just thought, and I grew up in this rinky-dink town, you know, outside of Dayton. And there was no diversity whatsoever. And they came from this like crazy place called Chicago. And I'm like, they are the coolest. They know everything. They have friends that are different ethnicities.
Yeah.
And I had never even been around that, you know. You guys are now those people that I would like look at. So I don't know. It's just a weird little flip-flop in life, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you went here and you keep mentioning like, you know, you had a good time and like you always tell me fun stories, but You got to tell me a fun Athens story or something.
Oh God.
I know that I'm putting you on the spot, and I know that there's a million, but just give me like one good one, or like one really fun memory with like you and your girlfriends. Like me and Kat has a podcast which everyone should check out.
You didn't tell them what it was.
Oh, Kat's podcast.
Christ, we don't know.
No. Why am I actually blanking out? I'm literally in it, and young adults, but it's me, Kat, Jaden, Harley, Beth, and
Oh God,
wait, what? Okay, wait. Jaden, Beth, Harley, Kat, Kate, and me. And we sit there and we just like, we were using this as like a time capsule to be like, oh my God, like we need to talk about these stories now because like we don't want to forget them. And I feel like especially people that went to OU, I feel like everyone's always like, oh my God, like I had so much fun here, like blah, blah, blah. Just give me like one, even just if it's a stupid
God,
memory.
I wish you had a call-in line because I'd make my friends call in and remember this for me.
Call them real quick.
No. Can you edit out like people are going to be like, this is boring.
Call them.
Wait. Okay.
Put her on speak.
I'm not going to put her on speaker.
Okay, fine. Just like shoot. You
I-
don't want to do anything fun.
I'm just so trying to think. Like
I know that it's like the
we
worst.
closed down every bar. We would keep a list of sayings when we were drunk, and so like we would go out to bars and bring our little. It was called the quote book, and we would just
Shut up.
No, we had.
Shut
quotes.
up.
Yeah.
We have a quote book.
Like my friend, like one of our quotes is like hit it with the horns because we were sitting there drinking so many shots of like whiskey that we would just be like hit it with the horns, and
That is so weird. Me and
my friend Marianne was like, she was so drunk, she kept standing there and she was just like free form like a post, and she's like, we're like, Mare, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm a post. And she was so drunk we couldn't understand what she was saying. We thought she was like saying Mama Post. And we're like, okay, Mama Post, you're Mama Post. From that point on, she was Mama Post. We still say it to this day. I mean, the parties, just insanity.
It was more like the overall, like I think it's
That's almost personal. It's personal to us, so it's not going to be like a big wow factor to everybody else listening.
Yeah.
But like, just the crazy.
Crazy. And I'm so happy that you forced me to come on a tour here. I know. I'm happy that
Well,
I'm here.
you said, I want to go somewhere far away from you guys. Like
That is
not
so
that
mean. Now I'm
not
like,
that you
Mom.
didn't want to.
Yeah.
Not that you didn't want to be with us, but you're like, I want to be at least 3 hours away. And I'm just like, my heart, like, how, why?
But now I'm doing good. I feel like we're good at long distance.
Oh, yeah.
We're so good at it.
Yeah, we're not so good anymore at close distance. Like when you come home, you get annoyed with us so bad.
I mean,
Like I can't even walk in the room and eat something. You're like, why are you chewing so loud?
why are you breathing? You know what I mean? Like things like that.
You're like, Mom, do you have to drink that loud?
Yes. Or when you're like literally breathing, I'm like, shut up.
I think we've bored everybody. I'm sure enough, right?
I think everyone's going to watch this to the full, but we can wrap it up since you hate me and I'm fat and stupid, like you said.
No, you're not.
You have to have confidence, Mom, because you
I
want to know
do, I
what?
do.
No one else is going to besides you.
Okay.
That didn't.
That's a dumb quote.
Maybe don't add it to yours then.
Do you know what? Okay, so here's what I hate SVU, and I'm saying that. So that
Megan! Megan!
My daughter Megan and Madison can get mad at me. But like literally today, I was listening to SVU in the car ride here because I couldn't, obviously watch TV, and there's this like thug sitting there, being interrogated by the cops or whatever, and the lawyer walks in, and he's like, "Nice booty," and she goes, "Yeah, watch." He goes, "Nice booty," and she goes, "Watch it while it kicks your ass." And I sat there and I thought, how can a booty kick somebody's ass? That's just my random thought for the day. Like SVU is the worst show that's ever been created. But to my family, it's the best show. That and like that stupid Aang movie, Freebender, Firebender, Airbender. Oh,
The
God.
Last Airbender. It's literally a family staple. And that was so random, but that just adds to it that we are way too similar. And it makes sense that you're my mother. And I think people.
Ooh, Can I give a shout out to Taylor? Happy birthday and
Happy birthday, Taylor.
Hi, Jake, Haley, Josh, Jackson, Reese, and Brady.
Yeah, that's
Chloe.
Chloe.
My little Chloe.
Oh my God. I guess my mom just thinks this is like a virtual birthday shout out. You remember when we would send those? The green and the blue, the green and the pink guy that would send the automated birthday message that Aunt Amy would always send to us, and he'd be like, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Yes. Oh my God, I love this.
You know what I'm talking about?
The two little like characters.
And they had like the ears like
Yeah.
Okay, do your other shout outs that you said you wanted to.
No, that was it.
Oh,
I just want my nieces and nephews.
you do love them. And
I do.
and your kids and your husband, who's pretty cool.
I do love my husband.
Yeah.
Ugh, barf. Whatever.
All right, Mom. Thanks for being on the show. I love you.
welcome.
This
I
was
love
so
you too.
fun.
It was
This is
fun.
actually fun. We should do it again.
Yeah, I mean, after this, I might be a little too famous to come back
Yes.
on your show, but
You might have your own, and I might have to like go through your assistant, but we'll figure it out.
I'm putting in my 2 weeks at work, and I'm just going on the podcast circuit, wherever they take it, wherever it takes me.
Wherever it goes,
That's
man.
where I will be.
Then we'll end it at that. Everyone, thank you for watching another episode. It's happening. That's not what it's called. I just think it's happening.
The next episode has to be your dad.
How is?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
He'll ride his goddamn motorcycle.
He'll ride
here.
a goddamn motorcycle here.